I never imagined a handful of simple words could flip how I viewed my own heart. But one evening they did just that. I was tucked away sobbing in a dim spot that was supposed to feel safe and calm. Then he showed up. He had no business being there. But deep down, it seemed like fate had nudged him right into the moment. His gentle lines rattled me in a way that's hard to pin down even now. Before we dive in, here's a quick question for you. Where are you tuning in from this evening? Share your town in the comments. I bet tales like ours link folks in surprising ways. Now, let me whisk you back to that evening. It was way past bedtime, later than sensible for someone like me to be up. The home sat still, that heavy hush squeezing my ribs like an invisible load. My sitting room light spilled a warm haze over the rug, and I recall fixing on its beam, as if it was the one thing holding me steady. Beyond the glass, gusts tapped the panes, and the wall clock clicked sharper than it should in the shadows. I huddled on the rug, spine to the sofa, legs pulled close, salty drops trailing my cheeks in lazy, bumpy paths. Not big whales, but those sneaky leaks you battle without luck. The ones that sneak out when your chest weighs a ton and your mind spins without mercy. You see, at 48, I'd figured I'd mastered my rough patches by then. I'd assumed losses, letdowns, and what-ifs had etched their fixes into my bones. But that evening I shrank back to a kid, mixed up, adrift and tiny. I'd hauled isolation around forever, acting like it hid in plain sight. At last, it cornered me. That's when the entrance eased ajar. I went stiff. No one was due. My boy was out for days, and I'd told no one to drop by. Panic flashed first, but then came his tone. "Hi there. Sorry if I spooked you." It belonged to Tom, the guy next door. Tom had been over the road for seasons, but we'd stuck to quick nods and chit-chat hellos. He came off reliable, even-keeled, perhaps tipping 60, with a vibe that held peace instead of chatter. I dashed away the wet on my skin, cheeks burning. Oh gosh, I had no idea. Figured the place was empty. "What's got you here?" My words broke like dry twigs, more than I liked. He eased a step past the threshold, clutching a plain sack. "Was on my way in. Spotted your glow hanging late. Guessed you might want broth. Whipped up extra. Plain talk, everyday stuff." Yet right then, it struck me as magic that anybody recalled I existed. Even so, I hated him catching me wrecked tresses tangled, skin splotched from the flood, the full mess of falling apart. "I'm okay," I rushed out, though my tone sold me short. "For real, no need to fake it." He held back, no push, just parked by the frame, the bulb highlighting creases on his cheeks, gaze kind and sure. "Won't linger," he murmured low. "But folks can't weep solo always. Now and then, knowing a pal's nearby does the trick." Those lines, no clue why, but they burrowed straight to my core, like he'd slipped past guards and nudged a hidden ache. Folks can't weep solo always. I studied him true. Coat flecked with night frost, grip firm on the sack. No sorrow in his pitch. No nosy dig. Just plain folks connecting. And a lock inside me gave way. I waved toward the seats. "All right, for a short spell." He placed the sack on the low table and perched light, like sparing the room's shaky calm. A beat passed wordless. The lull hung, but easy, the sort that lingers kind and patient. At length, he broke in. "Been in those spots myself. You get it. Evenings dragging endless. Hush roaring over any racket." My neck knotted. I itched to probe his dark hours. What forged that even poise? But all that slipped out was, "How'd you push past?" He held, gaze on the bulb like fishing phrases. "Didn't. Early on. Wrestled them hard. Acted tougher than true. Till I caught on you skip battling every gale. Some you ride out. and let a buddy ride along. His lines struck deep, sharper than planned. Perhaps 'cause I saw my own act mirrored. Acting dinners solo didn't bug me. Acting the empty nest didn't echo. Acting steady when wobbly. I dropped my eyes. Breathing, tough, owning the empty spots. Ain't frail, he stated solid, tone laced with belief that nudged me. It's folks being folks, and owning it here. Breathing it proves you're kicking. Still game for tomorrow's turns. No telling what hooked me in his delivery. The rock-steady flow, the soft fire, but a turn clicked inside. First stretch in ages, my leaks didn't shame me. The broth sat cold on the stand, clock still chipping away. But the space lightened. He'd hauled in a quiet nudge that perhaps I needn't shoulder it all solo. That sparked it off. I hadn't banked on him sticking. Truth, I pegged he'd pass the sack, flash a kind grin, and fade into dusk. But Tom hung back, not crowding, but rooted, like offering room while planted near. We perched mute as spell, bulb washing us gold, breezes whispering at the sills. Dried tracks still clung my face, but the sting faded odd. His nearness had nudged a change. You know, I started low. Most would bolt spotting a wheat through the pain. He huffed light. No tease, just airy. Most dodge the blues. Clueless on handling. But I've picked up it craves a sidekick, not a patch. His chat flowed unhurried. Lines weighed from folks who'd mulled before mouthing. Drew me near. Hungry for more. Trusting perhaps my ache wasn't the curse I sold myself. I tugged the sack handy, pulling the broth tub free. You truly overflowed the pot. Caught red-handed, he curved lips, easing off. Habit slips whipping for pairs now. The bit dangled mid us. I'd burned to quiz his bride, kin, backstory, but instinct said hold, let him unfold slow. Instead, I rose to the galley. Fingers worked on auto, snagging dishes, scoops, lining the ledge. Felt oddly snug, a beat I'd skipped weeks. By return, bowls steaming in tow, the damp had quit full. We supped hush at kickoff. Broth's heat bloomed cozy, rooting me firmer than guessed. More than grub. It was tending. A tiny folk's move flashing I blended in. Mid-bites I probed soft. So why this dusk? Why tote now? He eyed thoughtful, sifting terms. Caught your beam burning late, morn once lately. And you seemed off-kilter recent. Know the shade. Wore it seasons back. My ribs squeezed. He'd clocked me. Not skimpy glance, but sharp clock. And I'd blanked how parched I craved that nod. I parked my scoop, tone quaking. Been a bumpy stretch. Swear I'm solid, but truth I've ghosted my own walls. Some days, blank on my shape. His look eased. Ain't a ghost. Just lugging dark load solo. Don't shrink you. Crave glow anew. The lines choked me. I batted swift, stemming fresh leaks. But these shifted. Not the crush, the void sort. Felt freer, looser. I huffed shaky glee. You spin it breezy. Breezy ain't smooth. He held my stare. It kicks off cracking the gate. Even slim. The lull after unpacked. Thick with unsaid facts. My head looped his lines. Cracking the gate. I'd skipped that ages. Not true. I'd stacked barriers neat. Dubbing them shields, when real they jailed. Soup done. He eased the dish soft on the stand, reclining. No need spilling all, he breathed. But if chat calls, ears open. Zero call out, zero haste. That bid cracked a portal in me, and I clocked how fierce I yearned to cross. But not ripe full. Still, I heard myself probe. And you? Said you've ridden those waves? What rolled? He paused, then tipped head. Like I'd cashed a slice of honest. Lost my gal 5 springs past. The big sea early nights crushed. Stuffed him with dizzy, but void hunted. Years to nod, it's unbeatable. Some you bear the splits. His tone quivered faint on gal. First crack in his even, and it tugged hard. I stretched sans plan, palm grazing his. No scheme, no spark, pure folks. A gut pull to own his hurt as he'd owned mine. His palm stayed, no flinch. Skin hot, firm anchoring. We held so a tick. Duo hauling separate gales, sudden bunked in one roof. And first in forever, a spark flickered in me. Not quick mend, no wonder cure, but the softest glint of sun. That dusk post apart, I parked by the bulb again. But space eased weight. His lines clung, his vibe still toasty in the breeze. I clock then shifts don't always boom. Some hush in, some boot with broth, a kind tone, guts to perch in shadow with one who won't let you fade. The stretches after rang odd, not the sort I'd banked. Long my days dragged hollow, like autopilot spins brewing Joe, sprucing, eyeing reruns dusk, all in flat loop. But post that, Eve with Tom, like unseen gears turned. I peeked Painsmore, hunting his stride to the box or clipping yard brush. When he popped, a tiny buoy bobbed my ribs. No fireworks, no girl crush sip, but hush, a ping maybe I wasn't as solo as sold. Pair days on, raps hit the panel. Swung to him parked, same easy poise, clutching a flask now. Brew? He queried, lips quirking faint. Couldn't hold a giggle. You aiming to bribe with eats and sips till I cave again? His look warmed. Just if it clicks. I swung wide. He glided in like fitting the slot. No shove, but blending sans ripple. We claimed the galley bench, nursing Joebold and dusk with a cinnamon twist I blanked. Felt like a touch from caring taste, not bare need. As we sipped, I scanned him sharper. Palms flat calm on wood, gaze blending tired and toasty twin. No show, no dazzle push. Just here. After a lag, he queried, catching more shut-eye. I held a tick. Still bolt mid-darksome. That sticks, but eases now. Like hush, don't loom as grim. That's a win. He tipped. Mending don't dump full. Creeps like dawn past slats. There spot it till space glows fresh. His word picks always tagged. No slick scripts for smart. Spilled natural from lived miles. I reclined, mug gazing. Blank when I quit gate cracking. Like breath holding seasons, acting solos fine. You ain't lone wolf, he breathed. Same here. Post gal. Peg tough as no stumble show. Just stretched dusks. I eyed him true. Spotting the soft hurt past poise. Twins flipped. Both stacked fences. Both cashed the solo hall toll. Breeze mid us thickened, but airy, not choke. Packed with straight. Missed her? I breathed soft, instant rue. Pardon. Shouldn't. He eased head. Sure, daily pang. But pang don't nix forward. Once care don't nix fresh tend. Just tweaks it. His lines dove core. Tweaked, not shrunk. Just tweaked. Seasons I preached my tales meat penned, now pure tail end. But bench side nursing Cinnamon Joe. A rustle woke I'd burned ages. Chance. No big drama chat after. We chortled bits like his jalopy's pothole rattle or my pup's sock heist from Wash. But under giggles, rooted something, hushed budding. Rising to split, he held at sill. Don't aim to crowd, he weighed. But fancy a stroll tomorrow dusk? Round the block. Plain deal. My lips tugged up sans check. Stroll hits nice. Post-split I claimed hush again, but it rang brimming, waiting, like pre-drizzle breeze. That eve, bunk-bound, his lines looped. Tweaked don't mean shrunk. Clocked how I'd spun like tail-wrapped, when perhaps just page turn. Next dusk, pain swung to him parked, palms tucked, lips soft curved. We ambled slow round homes, summer breeze silky cool on hide. Lanes hushed, sill beams warm, bugs chirping backdrop. Steps cinched at start, chit on easy the wheel turns, folks next door. Blooms hugging rails. But lulls stretched longer, and those gaps spilled morn talk. Once unplanned, palms grazed. No yank. And in that mute tick, it clicked. Mending skips grand moves or flash truths. Some rolls in broth form, cinnamon joe, soft graze from one spotting you ghosted. Terrify and snug, this slow bloom of surprise. And core deep, I knew my path was turning. The dusk rambles turned our soft habit. Not nightly rush, but plenty to spark door tap crave or quick ping. Stroll. Each breeze hauled unsaid. We swapped old yarns, his kid springs angling with grandad. My young stretch when home rang kid glee. Shared small stings too, the sort that cling but mellow voiced. And lulls mid us warmed like cozy stops, not voids. One eve sky smeared peach and plum, the fade that halts you blind. We paused by block-end big elm, rooted, sun-sinking rim. He cracked hush first. You know, blanked I'd snag this vibe anew. I swung, pulse thumping odd loud. Snag what? Gaze locked sinking beam, the soft glee of side-by-side plane. No fill need, no act, just here. His lines pooled in me like pebbles in pond, waving all I pegged on self, 'cause I snagged it too. That odd, surprise glee. I gulped thick, tone hushed. Blank-eyed green-light at neither. He swung my way at last, eyes snaring day's tail gleam. Long tick, no stir. Then, feather soft near break, he stretched for palm. This round, no graze, no slip. Digits laced mine on purpose, firm and toasty. And I held steady. Let palm nest his, its pull rooting me deeper than guessed. Wasn't young fire rush. Deeper, stiller, duo with miles to prize pause. Pick heart gates wise. Parch laced, thought tagged. Life rolled on. Tail unwrapped. Still fit for ties. Still worth the spot. Leaks rose then, but shifted breed. Softer area from thanks not sink. He clocked natural. Easy. He breathed. Thumb grazing cheek back. These ain't the old breed. I giggled mid, head shake. Nah, fresh batch. Reckon the nice sort. We trailed back lazy. Scant more chat. Words skip need. Hush flipped from crushed squeeze to shared snug. That eve, post-sill goodnight, I lingered sitting room long. Bulb's cozy beam fixed. Same beam once spotlit solo now beamed fresh, soft and breakable, but true. Clocked then mending skips burst dumps. Some lands neighbor toting broth. Dusk stroll under sink sun. Palm stretch when blanked. End tallies, weren't solo his lines rattling. What they unlocked in me. Ping that age don't nix, miles back don't bar, never past feel, wish link. And bulb flicked, bunk bound. I breathed to self the fact near lost.